chicka, 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 what? She said, chicka, chicka, what? Go with the flow, go, woo, boy. Am I on mute? I ain't on mute. I hope everyone is doing good. I'm still working on getting that official one made. It's going to have an intro. It's going to have me moving. It's going to have my family. It's going to have a lot of cool stuff. But guys, I am back. Sunday stream. I was out a few days. We had one on Monday, but ever since then I was out. I was in Mexico. Took my family there for spring break. But we got a lot to cover. We've got a lot to cover today, guys, and we've got some AI projects doing extremely well. BITTENSOR TAO is now the #1 AI crypto project in the world. Why is it pumping? What about Render? What about ICP? What about Near Protocol? What about even Cubic, whatever? We're actually going to have someone from Cubic on the stream pretty soon, but why are all these pumping? Why is Bitcoin showing so much strength right now in a time that we still have escalation going on in Iran, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down necessarily anytime soon? But we've got a lot to get into, guys. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful show before I have to leave in a few hours and go coach baseball. I am head coach of a toddler baseball team, and I absolutely love it. But we're going to go over my Tao trade, what I've exited, what I still have, why I did these things, and what I'm looking at going forward, guys. I do all my trading over on Blofin. They are the official stream sponsor of Finance Freeman Live. If you're looking for a new exchange, if you're on YouTube, it'll be right at the top of the description. If you're over on X, it should be a comment right under the stream that we put up. But feel free to join them if you want. They've been wonderful to us, and I am sure they would be the same to you guys. There's also the QR code on the screen that I will remove in just a minute. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, boy, Space. Great stream to start up the week. Yeah. Guys, and if you don't mind, if you're over on YouTube, pull these things out and take these down and use these to hit the thumbs up button for me. It really helps a lot. And if you're over on X, retweet the space. Retweet the space for your boy. Just click the little retweety, and it goes a long ways. And that's all I ask. All I ask of you guys. But y'all know I love spending time with y'all. And so let's go over crypto, and then we're going to get into some macro stuff. We're going to get into oil. We're going to get into finance, stocks, because everything ties together. If you see oil go up, you see everything else go down. So we have to know how everything plays together. Oh, yeah, there we go. Got a lot of retweets of the space, guys. Shout out to y'all. But what do we got going on this week? This is the Kobayashi letter. I actually subscribe to their premium newsletter. It's about $200 a month. I just subscribed right before I left, so I'll keep y'all updated with how it looks and try to share some of the research that they have there. But this is what we've got. Futures open tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern time, right? And markets are going to react to the strikes on Karg Island, which is basically Iran's largest, portion of oil that they have there. And a lot of the oil stuff wasn't hit or taken out, but it was kind of a warning type thing from what it appears. But like I said, I've been in Mexico, so we're going to do a lot of catching up. Pending home sales, it's not too much of a market mover, but it will be something for us to look at as far as the overall economy hurting. We have had lower interest rates on 30-year mortgages and things like that. Are people buying homes? Are they not? I know me personally, I'm staying in the home I've got right now. I'm locked in a 3% interest rate. I ain't selling this home ever. I'm not saying I won't ever buy another home. I'm just saying I'm never selling this home. Really big PPI inflation data we have coming out on Wednesday. This is going to be very big, okay? We just got CPI last week. Now we're having PPI. Now, keep in mind, none of this data really has the high oil that we had into it. And oil prices are one of the leading metrics that go into inflation. But remember, like everything in the government, we're behind. We're behind a month. We're behind 2 months. And so then we have the FMOC meeting on Wednesday. Expect a lot of volatility. The odds are, and we can go look at Polymarket, we can go look at different places. The odds are there will be a 0 rate cut on Wednesday. That's what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting any rate cut until the soonest June. And we can get into that a little bit later. And then Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, that's good. I expect those numbers to be good. And then January new home sales Thursday. So you see we're in March and we're just getting January and February data right now. So we are a little behind, but Bitcoin looks good. And even though Bitcoin looks good, BitTensor Tao in the AI sector have been moving away from BTC. Even though, like I said, BTC is doing good right now, look at BitTensor Tao. BitTensor Tao is looking great, guys. And I can put a snip of it over here on the clip, or I can show y'all a post that I made. But I bought in my Discord around 149. Okay. And I just took 40% off the table. We're at this trend line. It's been a massive pump. RSI is high. I'm hoping for a little pullback. Maybe we get a pullback to this level. Maybe, that would make a lot of sense. This level right here, because you could see it was support back here. It was resistance up here. If we got a pullback right there before, going up, we just have to see. We just have to wait and see. But in an overall bear market, I always try to be conservative. And hey, if within 2 weeks' time can double the money and then basically have a big bag of free Tao and able to trade and try to add to that bag, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Obviously, never financial advice, which is a nice segue into I'm just a dude on the internet. Nothing I ever say is financial advice. Okay. Always do your own research. If you think you need a financial advisor, find one, because that is not me. That is not me. But the shorts are piling in on Tao right now. And I'm not saying that they won't be right. Like it would not surprise me if we seen a pullback at this level right now on Tao. Now that wouldn't be a bad thing. Okay, that's healthy, right? We're on the daily candle. If we go back 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle, 4 candle, 5 candle, 6 candle, let's go back a week since we broke out of that. A 43% pump on the number one AI market cap crypto, right? A pullback is okay. A pullback is completely normal. And in fact, it wouldn't be a bad hedge. It really wouldn't. Let me see. Because we're way up here at the top. But see, everything I'm doing with Tao is to get more spot Tao. Like I'm extremely bullish on this project. That is way too much left right there. 277 puts liquidation 364. Could always add some margin. Yeah, I'm gonna think about this one just because it's I'll tell you why. So if you look at it right now and we come over here and go to like RSI, there's a lot of indicators that this is a resistant level. The bull flag that I was measuring did have a target of about 310. That's why I'm wanting to watch this. But if we take a look over on TradingView where there's more history, you can see we've got this trend line right here that is going back to November of 2025. And it was resistance all right here. It was resistance right here. And could it be resistance right here after a huge pump? This is the daily candle. And look at RSI, right? RSI is pretty high. Like we've been higher before, but most of the time around this point, it cools off a little bit, And so I would love to see a little pullback, even if it pulled back to like here and then was able to break out, boom, boom, that would be great. We just have to watch and see. But the points pointing towards this being resistance for us is one, front running 300 a little bit. Okay. Two, this downward trend line. Three, RSI's pegged out. Four, the 200-day moving average is right here at 286, right? So it just kind of makes a little bit of sense. It kind of would make a little bit of sense for a pullback right now. But this is by far, the strongest altcoin in the market right now. Like, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I got to get back on my healthy eating, man. I went and got a Diet Coke earlier. No more McDonald's. I'm on vacation mode still, but Monday I'll be back in the gym pumping that iron. But yeah, it looks good. It looks really, really good. And so we're going to continue to monitor this throughout the stream. If I do a short, it's only a temporary thing just to try to, make some more funds and get some more spot Tao, because long term, I'm extremely bullish. Midterm, I'm extremely bullish. I mean, find me a better looking chart than BITTENSOR TAO, especially at this market cap, right? You could show me a 10 million market cap coin that's up, 4x, or a 1 million market cap coin that's up. Yeah. But when we look at BITTENSOR, and I've been screaming that this is just a beautiful, beautiful setup right here. It broke out of this with a perfect retest right here before coming up, creating this bull flag, and then broke out of that. I mean, this is really, really textbook. And if you want to look at it from like a wave count, it would be like 1, 2, 3. And 3 is normally the longest extension. And then you would have a pullback, and then you would, maybe it takes us to say this trend line up here, right here. And so before having, a few wave reset. But Tao looks amazing. And there's a lot of other AI projects that are looking pretty good. If we take a look, Tao's climbed from like 38 to over the last week to number 30 right now. And when you take a look at the tokenomics of Tao, they're very similar to Bitcoin, the tokenomics of Tao. If we come over here and look, 21 mil max supply, okay? Currently 10.76 mil circulating. So there is inflation coming down the way, but if the demand outpaces that, then it's no problem. I mean, that's what we've seen with Bitcoin over the years, right? But BITTENSOR did recently have their first halving. And so this is that long-term trend line I was looking at. So maybe we potentially get a pump, a retrace, and then we come tag this trend line, because I do still expect BTC to make a lower low. I do not expect everything to be just up from here necessarily. Even though we are looking strong, we are looking very, very strong. I still don't necessarily expect that to be the bottom, but I would absolutely love if I was wrong. Let's come over here to Blofin, and let's look at the 200, and let's see if there's enough data. Sometimes there's not enough data for it to populate it. No, there's not. So let's come over here. So this 200, okay. So the 200 week is currently at about 58K for BTC. It's where that's currently sitting. But RSI, we're way oversold when it comes to BTC. So a little pump up wouldn't be crazy. I like SMA. Some people use EMA, but I like SMA. They're slightly different. EMA weighs recent price action a little more. But this is what people consider the bull market support band, which is up here at 98K, So if we took a run at that, it wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't think we would get above it, you know? I honestly wouldn't expect us to get above this either, like 77 or definitely like this 86. Somewhere in that pocket I think would be a good trade. But we'll keep that lined up and see. Let me know if there's any projects you guys want me to look at. While we're on here, but Tao's looking strong. This was posted February 13th. I want to take a look at it. Where I said BitTensor is the most asymmetrical trade I see in the next 6 to 12 months. I still feel that way. I feel like it more now that it's being a little validated, right? We need all artificial intelligence to be decentralized on chain. We are early. So let's take a listen. We're going to get into the Bitcoin of artificial intelligence. You can see it has sold off a lot. Okay. It has sold off from highs of 700 down to where it is now, right? But you can see volume right now is extremely high on Tau, like even more volume than when it was at 600%. That's like, I think something's coming. But BitTensor is a peer-to-peer intelligence market. As with other commodities, markets could help us efficiently produce machine intelligence. We propose a market where intelligence is priced by other intelligence systems peer to peer across the internet. Peers rank others by training neural networks, which learn the value of their neighbors. Scores accumulate on a digital ledger where high ranking peers are monetarily rewarded with additional weight in the network. So that's what's causing a big run up right now is subnets are getting very popular. There's Shoot subnet, but there's another one, Templar, a large language model subnet that's getting a lot of attention right now. So right here is a good little explanation. Miners are owners of these models. They keep their models running and ready to answer questions and perform tasks. And so there's a lot that goes into Tao, and I have this full video, the video that I was showing on this live stream. I have it over on my X and YouTube, but it definitely Tau strong. And this was the bull flag measurement to 310. Like I said, I didn't want to get greedy on that trade because I mean it's just a 2x in a bear market on an asset that ran 40 or 50% in, the time I was on vacation. If I can take out my initials that basically pay for my vacation, I think that's a pretty good deal. But I did provide this update on X also, as well as in my Discord, that we're at this trend line right now. You could consider this like a Adam and Eve. That actually does look pretty good. This is an article I made a while back about BitTensor. It did pretty good. I think it got like 80K views or reads. But, looking at BitTensor Tao and some of these potential bullish price predictions and why I don't think they're crazy is when we take a look at how OpenAI's wanting an IPO at like 800 billion market cap. You've got XAI that's wanting to be around $1 trillion market cap. And so when you're looking at these centralized big company AI that's worth almost $1 trillion, and then you come look at something like a BitTensor Tao, which is a decentralized AI that's 3 billion market cap right now. Like, what if it just got 20% of the centralized AI marketplace, right? And so when you look at some of these predictions right here, if Tau got to where Solana is, it'd be a $5,200 Tau. If Tau got to where ETH is, it would be a 26,000 Tau. And Tau at BTC's market cap currently with what's in circulation is actually closer to about 120. So I'm not saying any of these are going to happen necessarily, but it's not impossible. It would not be impossible for this to happen, in my personal opinion. And I made a post earlier talking about BitTensor and Caspa. And I think it really goes to show, and I've said this time and time again, that what what's going to cause Caspa to do good, what's going to cause BitTensor Tao to do good is the ecosystem, not speculation. We're done with speculation, in my opinion. We're done with the times of, oh, this crypto is going to do this one day. This is going to do this one day. Right now, there is being demand for the subnets. People are buying into the subnets, okay? If we come up and look at Tau stats, I'll show y'all some. But people are buying into these subnets. You see, this is Templar. In the last week, it's up 100%. The last month, 125%. So just if you're someone that's coming from a different ecosystem, just think of these as meme coins on Solana, right? Like people had to buy Solana in order to swap into those meme coins, right? That's what drove Solana up to $300, which is triple the price it is now, right? And so these comparisons right here was with Solana at 87 bucks, not at 300 bucks, right? And so if this was Solana at all-time high, even this Solana one would be like 20K. And so these are not meme coins, but they're individual companies. So these are essentially companies, AI companies. And just like any project on a network, some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are probably scams, some of them are probably very legit and will be huge staples, But this is what's causing that type of surge in BitTensor right now is the demand for the subnets. People are wanting to chase those subnets, okay? And so that's what's going to bring, real demand to Caspa one day. That's what's going to bring real demand to any layer one ecosystem, right? And so it was at 277 earlier. Maybe the short would have done good, but I want to keep watching this for a little while. But like I said, a little cool off, perfectly normal after 7 days of hard pumps. Let's go see. What's up, Dom? What's happening, brother? Good morning, man. I hope you're doing good. I hope you are doing great. Just sitting here checking some AI projects out. We look pretty good, if I must say myself. But we all know that if Bitcoin takes a big dumperoo, then a lot of other things are going to take a dumperoo too, right? So this is the weekly, and you can see we're just still in this channel that could be a bear flag. And I've showed you before, if this is a bear flag, that breaks out, it takes us to this white line right there. And so if we come to a little lower time frame, and take a look. See, we're just like mid-level right here. This is where I do not take trades, right? I do not take trades at the midpoint because, it's like a coin flip, right? Are we going to go down or are we going to go up? And I can show you some more data pointing towards it being a coin flip because if we come over here and look at the liquidation levels, you can see we have shorts being liquidated around 72K. And we have longs being liquidated around 70K, right? So if we come back even further, let's go back like 2 weeks. Load. You see? So we're basically right here in the middle of a lot of liquidity on both sides, right? And so that's where the macro comes in my opinion, is what do we have going on in the macro? What do we still have going on? Are we going into an AI super cycle, or are we heading towards Black Monday tomorrow in the stock market and that carrying over to crypto? If we look right here, this is Kobayashi letter, and you can see what is happening with Bob Al-Mandab Strait, whatever that is. But you can see that's another strait right here that is next to the Strait of Hormuz, and this right here is Iran. If you look at this body right here. And so you can see right here, the Strait of Hormuz has been a focal point as it accounts for 20 million barrels of daily oil supply. On Thursday, Iran's Fars news agency said the Houthis in Yemen, which is over here, okay, and other resistance group may join against U.S. and Israel. Not too long ago, Yemen's Houthis, who are backed by Iran, were striking ships in the Red Sea, resulting in a major drop in shipping activity. So about 12% of seaborne oil passes through this right here. Okay. And so combined, you have about 25 to 30% of all sea oil. Okay. All oil that is shipped via water goes through these 2 points right here. And so if we go take a look at what oil, we have to look at how oil futures open up tonight. But currently, oil is back up over 101. And when I was on vacation, I actually made an oil trade. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, right here. So I closed too early. I closed around 92 bucks, I think, but 83. I closed on Friday before the before market close. Entry at 83. And so that's one reason I like Blofin so much, guys, is because I can trade anything on there. I can trade stocks, crypto. I mean, it depends where you're at in the world, but stocks, crypto, oil, silver, gold, it doesn't matter. And so, like I said, Blofin is the official stream sponsor of our Finance Freeman live stream. So if anyone is looking for a new exchange, I'll put a QR code up there, or you can also find the link in the description or down below. But, you know, oil's been on a run. And if we take a look at oil, when oil goes up, stocks go down. When stocks go up, it's because oil's going down. Everything is currently a proxy of oil. If y'all follow me over on X or been looking at the live streams, y'all know I've been short the Qs lately. Okay, I've been short. This is the NASDAQ, essentially the tech stocks. And I've been short the Qs, and it did very well for me. Again, I closed out a short too early because I was on vacation. I wasn't able to monitor it. But, you know, like I always say, you never go broke making a profit. And, so this is what I'm wanting to look at tomorrow. I basically have all eyes on the Qs, which is the tech stocks. And the reason, even if you're only into crypto, the reason that should matter to you is because if you take a look at Bitcoin trades like it's in the NASDAQ. When the NASDAQ goes up, it goes up. When the NASDAQ goes down, it goes down. That's why these weekend pumps are really hard to trust, especially when you're at a time where, you know, the Qs have been closed all weekend, right? You know, the stock market's closed. So what happens? What happens when futures open up tonight? What happens when, you know, the stock market opens up tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning? That's what I really have my eyes on right now. And I still believe that oil is underpriced with the global uncertainty that's going on. Iran has said multiple times that they will make oil 200 bucks a barrel. You know, that's bad for a lot of things. You know, if they're able to close off. I mean, there's already the Strait of Hormuz, there's already like zero traffic coming through here, right? And everything needs oil for shipment, whether it's your vehicle or whether it's avocados you're shipping from Mexico or whatever. Whatever it is, it needs oil. And oil goes into inflation. Inflation goes into, is the Fed going to cut interest rates or not? That's why it's almost a guaranteed no that the Fed's not going to cut interest rates this Wednesday. Why would they? Yes, layoffs have been a little bit high, but inflation's high, and the Fed will not care about layoffs. They will not care about the job numbers if inflation is high. And when you have something like oil surging, it's really hard to argue that they should cut interest rates. It's very hard to argue that they should cut interest rates. Let's go see what else is going on over here. What is this? Holy cow. Look how realistic that looks. That's like real live AI. This is the only chart that matters for BitTensor TAO BTC. Why? I don't think that's the only chart that matters. Respectfully, I disagree. There's a lot of conspiracy around this right here. U.S. has now spent $20.8 billion on American taxpayer money for the war. Yeah, let's go look at some more AI projects. Because I think it's a narrative that has a real use case. I think that this is gonna be for the foreseeable future. Great. Let's just break them down one by one, kind of from like a big time frame. So BitTensor TAO, Near Protocol, 1.73 billion market cap. Let's come look at the chart because that'll let me know what all Blofin has. Let's go to the daily. Up pretty good from this low. Up about 50%. It has a similar trend line as TAO. It looks good. Had a breakout retest. Now going. Bounce way off these lows. Yeah, near looks pretty good. Internet computer, man, such good technology. It's really such good technology. It's just the tokenomics just whoop it. But it's kind of like a major company with Definity, and they have a lot of bills to pay, a lot of stuff like that. Kind of like a breakout. Yeah, let's see if it can stay above this level. Make it red for a line in the sand. But one thing, when ICP runs, it runs. And if this AI meta continues, which I think it could, like look at that. It was able to go from 280 to, what is that, $10 in the matter of October 30th to November 7th. In like a week, it was able to pull those type of numbers. But yeah, guys, also I post all these in my Discord, why I'm doing stuff, Got everything from like degen trades to long-term trades, and then we just chat about stuff. There's a guy sharing stuff. Perp trades is where all my Blofin stuff will be, and things like that. So if you're ever interested in that, it's a cool little community we got going on over there. But the next big trade I'm looking at is hoping oil gets to like 200. And this sounds weird because it's bad for the economy, but I'm just talking about like from a trading perspective, because there's no way the world's going to let oil be high long. You see that they're already using the strategic petroleum reserves, basically the emergency oil stashes that the G7 countries have. They're releasing it, trying to lower the price of gas by 25, 30 cents, lower oil prices. And so there's a big demand for, or a big incentive in lowering gas prices. And so as high as oil gets, I think it could be a generational short opportunity. But when does it get there? I'm definitely not shorting it here at 100 right now, not with global tension still going up. I like render a lot too. Let's go to market cap. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably going to have these guys up on the stream. You know, chart looks absolutely horrible, right? But what project doesn't, especially something that launches and it's, you know, worth a lot of profit for miners and for anybody that acquired it early. So it's down major, right? But it's also up pretty good if somebody got in a couple weeks ago. Let me see if they have it over on Blofin. I don't think so. No. But this is an AI ecosystem that we're diving into. Decentralized layer one network where scalable tech meets artificial general intelligence, purpose built from the ground up to transcend the traditional limitations of blockchain. Cubic is redefining blockchain with feeless transactions and instant finality in a unique proof of work model, useful proof of work that channels computational power toward AI training rather than wasting it. This is cool. I like useful work. It's a network where mining serves a higher purpose. You know, and one thing that could lead, and I need to break down the tokenomics more and do a lot of research into it. But, you know, when any kind of proof of work project launches and it's worth a lot more than what people are mining it at, you know, like if there's miners that are mining it and they're instantly at 5, 6, 7, 8x profit, obviously they're going to sell, right? I mean, and so it's currently about a 126 mil market cap project, 200 trillion cubic supply. Now, the total supply doesn't really matter, right? It's all relative. The only thing that really matters is market cap, in my opinion. But something like this could be good if you have a ton of supply, because then AI agents are able to micro transact and they don't have to use a lot of decimal points or anything like that. It might make it a little simpler. But yeah, I'm gonna have someone. I was DMing the team before I left for vacation, and I responded to them this morning. So we're trying to get them up in the next week or two and see what they are cooking over at Cubic, and see if it really could be the next big layer one AI project. You know, a lot of people that are used to buying sub micro cap projects look at 100 mil and think it's big market cap, but in all actuality, it's very small, 230 ranked. There's another one that's proof of work. I'm trying to remember it. I like Akash though. Akash and Render. I like both of those a lot. I think renting GPUs and being able to put idle GPUs and renting them and making revenue on it, I think that's going to be a huge deal. But Tao, man, look at that candle. Like, look at that monthly engulfing candle. Just a full big boy candle. That is beautiful. That is mwah, mwah, absolutely beautiful. I do want to try to find some trade setups. How's gold been looking? It shows you how overblown a lot of these scenarios have been because gold's not running right now. You know, it just shows you how heavy of a trading game it's all been. Like, to see what gold did, to see what silver did, but now when they should really, really be running, they're not. Shows you everybody's moved to trading oil, and it's not always spot demand, people lining up at pawn shops to buy gold that's driving the price up. Let's take a look at WoW. Caspa's just abiding by this little trend line, man. It's getting ready for a move. RSI's tight. Price is tight. It's definitely getting ready for a move. It's hard to imagine it going too much lower, and I broke this down recently, but we could see 2.3, 2.4 cents if we break down. If we break up, though, it could be really big for Caspa. I mean, this thing's been down for what? It reached its high in July of 2024. It's been almost 2 years of a downtrend. Then if we draw a fib on it, we can see what some targets are. But it was down 87%, 88%. If we draw some fibs here, looking at some extension targets, a full fib extension would take it to about 78 cents, which is pretty massive of a move. Community is extremely strong on CAS. I need to talk to my guys at Blofin. We need to get CAS spot. Let's go see what crypto Twitter's talking about, or finance Twitter, let's call it that. Taiwan reports large-scale Chinese military aircraft present near island. Guys, we need this conflict to resolve for global tensions. They still have TSA shut down. I'm glad I wasn't flying. Altcoin market cap drops as Bitcoin continues to dominate. Let's go look at Bitcoin dominance. This is even more impressive for Tao. When you see how heavy Tao is running and Bitcoin dominance is going up, that means that like altcoins are dropping. Tao's eating a big percentage of that, but Bitcoin's still going up. It's pretty impressive. It's been a while since I looked at this chart. So this was this downward trend line I had a while back. We still broke underneath it, got rejected. Let's see what this is. Just bought Bitcoin and a nice Hublot. Why? I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want a Jacob either, but I definitely wouldn't want a Hublot. I'd take a Rolex or an AP. Wow. Institutions are piling into dang, I can't talk. Institutions are piling into crude oil longs. Hedge fund positions on Brent crude oil futures served 65,000 lots in the week ending March 10th, the highest since February 2020. Wow, long positions have surged 1,000%. Yeah. I should have kept that position open. Average U.S. gas price surged $3.70 a gallon. I don't even know what the price of gas is where I am. What is this rumor? They're saying Wise Coffee didn't spill. Did y'all see that yesterday? Came out that he had like 6 fingers and everything. I didn't see 6 fingers. I counted 5, but it's almost crazy they responded to this though. Huh.
How's your steak and lobster?
All right, damn near decent.
How's yours?
I'm ready for war.
We're going to war. Deep fact.
Yeah. When they start ordering steak and lobster for the soldiers. Max 7 is now down 13.4% from its peak. So Max 7 is Tesla, Microsoft, Facebook, Nvidia, all of those. It's reached its lowest level in 8 months, and I think the dump isn't done yet. Yeah, I agree. This shows you how desperate they've been to try to reduce oil prices, though. U.S. has lifted sanctions on Russian oil. Oil futures posted their largest weekly gain in history. The S&P raised $2 trillion off the market cap in 10 days. Iran is considering allowing oil trade through the strait to resume if done with Chinese yuan. That's a big deal, right? The United States is going to protect the petrodollar. And that's what's so crazy. That's why I think it was a mistake. It's this conflict isn't over when the United States decides it's over anymore. I mean, you're in conflict with somebody else. If they don't want it to be over, it's not over. Even if it's not directly with the United States, if it's with the strait and causing oil prices to go up, that can cause a lot of global problems. What the heck? Yeah, so it's just, I'm cautiously optimistic about the market. Look, Tau 281 surging. Let's see if it can make it up above this trend line. That's been going. If it can make it up above that trend line, retest it. Let's go to a lower time frame. It looks good. Like I said, at 285 also. 285 is the 200-day moving average. And then obviously 300 is a huge psychological level. And then 310 was the last bull flag target. So that right there is kind of the levels that I am looking at. But I did already take a little bit of trade off the table. Didn't want to get greedy in this market. But, I think the main things, if you're somebody that's getting ready to go to work in the morning and you don't have time to monitor the trades all day, monitor everything, what I would look at is the price of oil, which, if you just come over to Blofin, CL, that's simple. Okay. That right there is the price of oil. Not that one. Hold on. CL. So if you're someone that don't have all day to monitor the market, look at CL, see what the price of oil is doing. If that's going up, I can almost guarantee that this is going down, which is the NASDAQ, which is the Qs. And if it correlates anything like it's done the last 6 months, 4 months, if the Qs are going down, then odds are Bitcoin is going down. And so even though we're having a pump over the weekend and I am cautiously optimistic, I'm still very much waiting at this point. I'm not currently in a BTC trade. Like I said, we are kind of in this midpoint right now. I would much rather be interested in looking at AI projects that have not started to run as hard yet, right? Like Tao's ran really hard. If anything, trying to do like a scalp short whenever, the local top is in and maybe there's like a 15, 20% correction, something like that. Or looking for some of these other projects that have not ran yet in the AI ecosystem. Like Near looks really good. Near looks really good. Internet Computer, we know it can run hard. It's done it before. There's a trend line right there. And then lining out for the Internet Computer levels of resistance. Boom. Boom. And boom. Right there. So this right here is kind of the pattern. If we get a breakout, maybe I do a long right there with a stop loss there. But I always keep you all updated on the streams. If you want to join the Discord, you'll get it right after I do the trades. And then I try to post them on X as well whenever I can. But that's the stream today, a special Sunday stream, guys. Like I said, if you're looking somewhere to potentially trade oil, trade a whole bunch of different things, Blofin is the official stream sponsor of Finance Freeman live stream. I'm extremely grateful for them. We will be back all week starting tomorrow, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Go over everything happening in the market, what's going on with global tensions, what's going on with BitTensor, the AI narrative, what's going on with Bitcoin, what's going on with the stock markets, and when the bottom is in, I am prepared to unload heavily. And as always, just because I'm doing something does not mean you should be doing it. I am not a financial advisor at all, and none of this it's ever financial advice. But will we have a Black Monday tomorrow? I don't know. But I know one thing. I'll definitely be trading it, guys. See you tomorrow. Love you all.